Hi, good evening traders. Happy Friday. And this is Krishna Joshi here with today's trader takeaways. Uh, Very busy day, not a typical Friday, I would say. And it was pretty active. Oil was selling off. Obviously, a lot of global pressure going on to increase the output. The Russia had some pressure in the Middle East as well. You saw a lot of countries agreeing on the fact that the oil prices have shot up a lot, and now it's time for them to kind of cool off. Also, coming into yesterday morning, we had like that. It was very much confirmed that North Korea is going to meet with a US. President Trump was going to meet. They were going to have the June 12th meeting, and since the news came out that that is not going to happen, markets have kind of sold off. And also Wednesday was a Fed day, where June rate hike is pretty much factored in. So a lot of stuff going on, geopolitics, global news, macro, and this is what I have on my SPY. A lot of significant levels going on. As you can see individually, SPY kind of broke out beyond the 268 mark, but again slightly pulling up. So every time it goes beyond 272, we see that kind of resistance. We see kind of gap up into 273, 74, and then midday sell-off. So you can see sell-off, opens down weak, and then the North Korean news, and opened up today and again kind of held lows. So SPY is kind of still in the range where it's not a clear breakout, but also on the way down there's a lot of buying coming in. Let's jump into individual names, but before that I'll look at the oil ETF USO. So you can see USO has sold off pretty much like a point from the highs. It sold off from 1475 highs, it's down to like 1365, so that's like good 7% correction on oil. And jumping onto oil names, so PBR was day 2. They have some issues in Brazil where truckers are going on strike with the gas pricing and taxes and everything. So PBR, one of the biggest Brazilian oil companies, was down a lot yesterday. If you look at the daily on PBR, 17 and change, almost 17 and a quarter, and it's down to like 12.50 now. So that's a huge sell-off for a big company, and which is why today this was one of the active names on the desk, because we had massive block prints going on where the stock is SSR, it's day 2 on it, and we're looking to capture, be on the right side of the trade first of all, because the buyer is just persistent. So he was buying all day, he was buying all the way down, so you could instantly sell any position any size you want, 20, 30, 40, 100,000 shares. He was constantly buying all of it. So there's a lot of buying pressure. But one thing we noticed was he was buying around the VWAP. Also he was buying only up to a certain price level, so he wasn't really going beyond 83 on the buying side. So I had 83 marked up on my charts. So every time it would touch 83 offer, get a little bit of short, scalp your way out, make 4-5 cents on size, up until he just couldn't push it anymore. And at the same time, oil sold off right around here, which is around 2 o'clock. Oil sold off. SPYs make a new fresh round of selling in SPY. So that weakness kind of pushed into PBR. And what Stan mentioned was PBR, the class A shares, they were kind of selling off. So as you can see, this is the VWAP where we were trading PBR, and then PBR class A shares start selling off just around this. You can see 157, 158, whereas PBR was just there up until like 2 o'clock. So there's a good 5-10 minute lag on it. Also the magnitude of the sell-off was different. So this was the easier trade in it, where you got 83 shorts, 82, 81 shorts. You cover some on the way down, so you're covering 76s, 77s, and again as it shot up, you could just again get short 82s, 81s. So I was short here 82 on one of the biggest trades I had today, and then this was a clean sell-off. So I remember covering 71, 72, and some in the high 60s, mid to high 60s. So this was an easy trade. Definitely missed a lot of move, but again probably because the buyer was so persistent, we knew that this guy could easily flip up 8-10 cents because he would just ISO the orders. He would just keep flipping the stock up, and once that happened, there's absolutely no out. So if you were stuck short, you had a tough time in all of these huge green bars. So the VWAP, the volume was concentrated on the 1280. This is what I'm gonna watch for Tuesday. Let's see how PBR acts on Tuesday. So that was one of the better trades of the day. I'm gonna look at SN, which is something that I should have done better in. So SN hit SSR right in the morning, setting long right around here. There's a huge bid at 330. So the idea was test out the mids. Not very easy to buy mids. The bid is there, so I'm kind of leaning on the 330 bid and then bought the mids here. And this was an easy scalp out, so I had orders around 36, 37 aggregators, kind of sold off all of my position into the 35, 36, and then again got long the 34. So and got out on the way up to like 40. So this was a quick scalp, but what I did not like about this was this again, the setup at 340 bid was a similar setup that I had in the morning. So this is something that I should not have missed. Also, this is like a bread and butter. So this is something I should have been focused on. I should have watched it more closely, and it's going to be interesting on Tuesday because a lot of these oil names are down more than 10%. They did not close at the weak point though. Excuse me. So I'm gonna jump into one bad trade, which is GPS. So GPS had earnings, and the same store sales weren't that strong. So they said Banana Republic did okay, Old Navy did okay, but the Gap brand did not do okay. Also internationally, they had some sort of issues in terms of the same store sales growth. So the SSS numbers not really strong. So the trade on this was on the short side. So I had a good initial short right around in the morning around the break of 30. So on the pullback I got a good price at 29.96. Kind of scalped it out around the 75s, and then left the rest for like a 7-8 cent trail, and it caught me out in the wick around here. So it was a quick 40-50 cent trade in the morning, an easy trade where it did not take a lot of my attention because I was focused on PBR. And then it kind of kept giving me setups to get short, and then occasionally it would flash up a lot, but the stops were significantly away. So on these flashes up, I was probably getting short with the stop, significant stops like 32 in this case. So I had a decent small position here. It was definitely tough because you couldn't tell how big this is going to shoot up from the bottom point. So because you're pretty much looking at the low point of the day, and it would just shoot up 7-8 cents out of nowhere. It would create like one of those squeezes where people trying to get short at the mid and the offer price would just get flashed upon, and if you had like a spur of short covering, you could just see like it follow through for like 15 cents like on this occasion. So this is where I did get shaken out and just stopped looking on the short side. So here the trade again was, I shorted, I think I short 62s, I added below 55 right around here, and then I kept holding it with the stop about 77 like right around here, and then I still got, so held through all of this, and on the second move up, this is where I get shaken out. So I ended up taking pretty much the high point. I took 72, 73, not the best exit, also more like did not let my stops work out for me, which is why this goes down as a bad trade. Did have a meaningful stop. All I had to do was follow my process and let it work out. But again, these, if you kept watching it closely, that the buying was so strong that it almost got me long on a few occasions. It got me thinking twice that is it more like a long setup, like something around here. It would break down, come right back up, and kind of get me thinking on the long side. So this could have been a much bigger trade had I just stuck with my 29.96 short and then just let it work out, or could have been almost a 2-point trade. But this is something I'm gonna watch on Tuesday as well. But thank you again for watching, guys. Appreciate the feedback that we've been getting. Mike Katz had an amazing volume profile video out yesterday, and at the same time we'll be closing down the Florida desk position that we have for 2 traders, and that should be closing down by the end of the month. So if you guys haven't applied yet, please do apply. We've been getting amazing feedback. We've had a tough time going through tons of resumes, but there is the right amount of talent out there, and we're looking forward to hearing more from you. And feel free to tag your friends, share it with your friends for an opening at the Florida desk with me and Stan. And let me know if you have any more comments. Thanks again for watching. This is Krishna Joshi, and enjoy the Memorial Day weekend.